The Lily Pad Sane Center was established in 2008. What we do here is anytime a child makes an allegation of physical abuse or sexual abuse, or they have witnessed a violent crime, it could be another child's death or a homicide or a rape or something of that nature, we bring them in here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we talk with them in a forensic interview. And that forensic interview is something where specially trained interviewers talk with these children about what has happened to them. It's that time for that child to tell their story, in a child-friendly place with nobody else there asking them question after question. It's not an interrogation. It's a time for that child to talk about what has happened to them or what they've seen. After that, if that child has disclosed something where we feel like there could be some evidence either in or on their bodies, or they've disclosed that they have been sexually abused or molested, then we will take them to our SANE room to have a sexual assault medical examination.
Unlike the popular shows that everybody's into today about forensics, like Law and Order, SVU, things like that, it's not a big group of people that accompany the victim into the examination. It's only the nurse that performs the examination and a medical advocate. During the examination, the nurse will get a general medical history, and they will also get details about the assault so that they know where to collect that DNA evidence from and hand it over to law enforcement. We work very closely with law enforcement in that aspect.
So as an advocate, I'm in charge of the initial intake with the family. So I actually meet with the parents or the guardian, and we do all the initial paperwork. And through that, we get to know the family a little bit better. We use that information so that after the interview, we can do mental health referrals and also take the family through our nurturing parenting program as well as our behavioral management program, which kind of takes each child case by case and walks them through behavior issues or family dynamic issues that they may have. It not only helps the child, but the entire family as well.
If something has happened in their home where that child has to be removed, we also have our court-appointed special advocates program. And that program follows that child through the entirety of their stay in foster care and advocates in their best interest to be sure all their needs are being met and they are on that road to recovery.
During our support group with the kids, we have our Shark Kings group for our boys and our Laughing Lilies for our girls. We really focus on issues that the children are going through. So we don't have a set structure that we come up with year by year. We take it month by month. So if most of the kids are struggling with anxiety or fear, those are the topics that we're gonna focus on. If it's anger, that's what we're gonna focus on. We really try to make it what the kids need.
When I found out that there was a sexual assault center, I was very interested because of my own background in sexual abuse. So it's very near and dear to my heart, and it was just fate the way it happened, because I do love this job, and the fact that I do have that background, my own personal history, it gives me a little bit more insight to be able to help these people through that very traumatic experience and let them know that somebody is here for them all the time.
I interviewed this child years ago. However, he will always stick with me. During the interview, he was a very, very boy's boy. He was macho and cool, and at the end of the interview, he asked me if I thought he would go to hell because of the things that happened to him, because he couldn't make it stop. And he was just a child, but the things that happened to him were so hard for him, and he internalized it so much. Although he was under 10, he thought that he should have been the one to be able to make it stop. And so those are the things that stick with you.
The victim that comes to mind was a little girl who came through the lily pad, and she had a really hard time afterwards with this fear and anxiety. So as her advocate, we took her out to the jail when she was having fear at night about somebody getting her or hurting her again, and showed her how the locks worked. We helped mom find a job. We helped her get re-enrolled in school, and she graduated with her degree, and the little girl is very involved at school as well as the mom. She's in dance, she's in plays, they're both making great grades, and they're really, have turned it around.
Doesn't just stop at a forensic examination. It keeps going, and we keep in contact with these families.
Working here is not something you just wake up to do. You don't wake up one day and think, I'll go work at the lily pad. I think it's something that you have to have a passion for. You have to be completely involved in this job. It's not something you can walk away from at 5 o'clock. You have to really invest your life into this job, and it has to be your passion, and you have to love what you do and wake up every day and be excited to come to work.
People always say, oh, how do you do this? How do you work here? And every one of us works here for a reason. Every one of us has a personal reason why we work here. And I think that this is not a job for everyone. It's one of those things that's very hard to not take, maybe stuff home with you. And I can probably say I speak for everyone here whenever I say that we probably needed a center like this, or that advocate, or that SANE nurse, or that interviewer in our lives as children at one point. So once you get to that stage in your life where you feel like, okay, this wasn't my fault, I can start to heal from this, then all you want to do is give back to those that, that need you most.